Alright, so this is page 111. This is part 111, so I'll be doing new assignments from my from the last so my what am I trying to say? Okay, so in May 26th is my last day of being at school. So it's an A day, so yeah, I cannot wait for summer, guys. Um but in 2 more days, I will be bringing my Chromebook back to to the school to the school, and that'll be it. So yeah, I'll be trying to do those videos from 111 to 115 if I can try, or maybe more or something until 10 o'clock, but I have to start logging off. So just let you know, or I have to brush my teeth. Just let you know. But I might stop at some time. So yeah, I am going to. This is the Children of Blood and Bone 3.5 reading guide, 3 to 5 pages, 3 to 5 chapters. So yeah, so enjoy this. Click on the blue share button above and share access with him, and then use your book to answer the following questions. All right, chapter 3, pages 32 to 46. Why aren't you starting yet? Why is it not starting? While at dinner, Amari is invited to visit the home of Oloye Ronke. Olai is a Yoruba word for chief. She is excited about this possibility for only a moment. Why does this feeling of excitement not last? I did not put any questions. I don't even know why I didn't even do this. Who is Benta, or how is Benta special? Why is Amari always ashamed of her looks? Sorry about that, guys. My asthma is killing me. I don't like having it. All right, so what report does Commander Kaya have for the king? Why were Amari and her brother Enon taught to fight and protect themselves at a young age? Admiral Ibili had been ordered to destroy the scroll in the stone. Why was he unable to do so? What happens when Benta touches the scroll? I think we. Okay, so if you want to check out about my light video, this will include about the part that I said about. So, all right. So fill in the blanks. Father's old warnings for a magic bloom inside of my head tells of blank and fire, blank and disease. Blank is the source of all evil. He would hiss. It will tear a blank apart. All right. How does Father react to what Binda does when she interacts with the scroll? When Amari goes into Commander Kaya's quarters, what does she decide to do? Why is it not letting me? Chapter 4, 47 to 57. Why is it not letting me read this? Huh? Did I check my volume? Why is she not responding? Why is she not responding? I'm so confused. Huh? Why is she not responding? Why is she not answering? How are Zane and Zili different from one another, according to Zili? How does Zili react internally when she sees Soldier using Mahasidi against the young child? How much money does Zili for the nobleman for selling this sailfish? Just as Zili is about to get through the crowd and away for market, what happens? Chapter 5, Why does the elite decided to get help the girl that showed up? When the captain arrives at the gates to stop the elite and the girl from escaping, what animal is he riding? How does the girl react to seeing the captain? Bonus question, who is the girl? And that's about it. Alright, let's get into my other assignments that are completely new. Let's do the Watergate primary source. Let's do that, okay? Alright, hopefully it will let her read. This is what we did yesterday. Watergate primary source sheet. We also did the notes too. But I will show you them right now also. But it'll be in a different computer. I have a different computer upstairs that it's completely new since last year. I got a backup one just in case. I have two backups computer. I have two computers now, and it doesn't have sound for some reason. I don't know why. So, all right. So number one, U.S. v. Nixon, 1974. This better let me read.
What were the 3 reasons that Nixon gave for refusing to turn over the White House tapes?
Thank you.
It was executive conduct. He also stated that it was the president. They need him for executive order for confidentiality. B. What do these reasons illustrate about Nixon's understanding of the division of power within the federal government? Nixon didn't fully believe in balancing the checks that much. C. How did Nixon's argument illustrate his ideas about the power of the presidency? He believed the president was having power from the situation we have talked about in class and his advisors. D. What did Chief Justice Burger say about the origins of executive privilege? How does this origin justify his decision about Nixon releasing the tapes? The course of the interpreter of the Constitution. It was the executive privilege. E.
Explain Berger's statement. A president and those who assist him must be free to explore alternatives in a way many will be unwilling to express except privately. How did the court interpret executive privilege? The states are different from each other. So yeah, that's kind of true.
F.
F.
Do you agree with this analysis that United States v. Nixon expanded the power of the presidency? Why or why not? Agreed because the FB needed control of this country. II. Transcript of White House tapes, June 23, 1972 conversation between President Nixon and Chief of Staff H.R. Haldeman. Note, Pat Gray is the acting director of the FBI, and Mark Felt is the associate director of the FBI. Helms is the director of the CIA and Walters is the deputy director of the CIA.
Alright, A. Haldeman tells Nixon the FBI is not under control. Why does the FBI need to be controlled? It was able to track any money you left off. What is Nixon's plan for dealing with the FBI's investigation of Watergate break-in? Nixon, to avoid often stay out of it. He's willing to stay out of it because he doesn't want to get involved. What does excerpt imply about the relationship between the FBI and the CIA? It completely implies that the FBI and CIA are related because they work for certain jobs. They have to pay a lot of rent, I believe. What does this tape reveal about Nixon's view of his power as a president? Nixon believes that he has the power of all branches. Why is this tape called the smoking gun tape? It shows that Nixon was willing to pay money. You can tell that he's wanted to pay money for some certain things. Just like when he wants to pay for something that he really wants, just like something that somebody wants, something that they never gotten. I feel that. All right. I already read this. Okay. Let's do the video of why the universe is flat. You can watch a video. What are the 3 things that make up the universe? what to do this thanks to the fabric of space-time. If you add this together, what is the shape of the universe? What shape would the universe be if it had a negative curvature? What kind of energy does the negative curvature universe have? What shape would the universe be if it had the positive curvature? What kind of energy does the positive curvature universe have? What kind of energy do bound orbits have? What happens to the gravitational energy when the objects separately leave the system? What shape does net positive energy create for the system? If the universe is flat, what is the energy sum? What does this mean for the creation of the universe? Why can't we say this? I mean, it's not bad, right? Let's do what is the shape of the space? You can watch a video here. How do we normally think of space? There are only 16 questions. If you want to answer them, great. I don't mind that. I'll give you a shout out. What is it according to general activity, like relativity? Can be activity too. What causes space to bend? What three things can space do? Cartwheels is not an answer. Laugh out loud. How did objects travel in flat regions of space-time? How do objects travel in positively curved space-time? How do objects travel in negatively curved space-time? What space does space take if it's positively curved? If space is flat, what are its shapes? What shape does space have if it is like negatively curved? What is the first method for measuring the large-scale curvature of the universe? What is the second way for measuring the curvature of the universe? What is the shape of the universe according to both these methods? What is odd coincidence that comes out of these findings? What is the amount of material of the average density? How much would you have to change the density to change the shape of I can't speak. All right, let me start over. How much would you have to change the density to change the shape of the universe? This is why I don't prefer to public speak, because I'm not really that good with speaking too much. Especially words that I'm trying to learn to pronounce. It really... I mean, I cannot... There are some words that I cannot pronounce, like long words that I can pronounce, but some of them that I cannot. But some words that I cannot pronounce, so I'd just rather skydive. I'm not kidding. I do want to fly. I mean, I kind of did fly. Just like fly into the bed sometimes when I was little. I used to fly around the bed. I used to fly like, just like a Superman kind of. Because I do like Superman too. It's a great combination to each other. Like, if necessary, that I can try to fly here. Alright, Quinn Simpson, child development careers. After watching the child development careers, answer the following review questions in complete sentences. Why did the child development professionals choose their jobs? You can require get education. True. What skills or qualities are necessary for working with children? Being patient and communicating with another. What are some of the benefits of working with children? Plato teaches you how to do experiments. Don't worry, guys, I will be able to do experiments someday. I might be able to do a mint in the Coke someday. I'm not really sure yet. Maybe I might do a mint. Maybe I might put a little bit, maybe I might do mint. Maybe I can try to do mint with Mountain Dew. What would it basically happen? I could try to do that someday. I'll probably do it around whenever. I don't know. I'm not sure yet. I may have to figure it out. What kinds of challenges do professionals experience? Office bullies. So the science experiment is going to be around probably this week. All I have to do is just get some mints. any mints you can try. But what if you try to do it with Mountain Dew on it? If you just put the candy mint and put it to the Mountain Dew, and all you have to do is just I'll tell you the rest later, but let's just do what we're doing right now. How do the child development professionals define success? Things go well. Which of the child development careers interested you the most and why? The professional about the children is personally because it makes one of my friends become a daycare teacher. I know that some of my friends wanted to be a daycare teacher or some type of teacher. Most of them, some of them can be like elementary schoolers or just preschool teachers or daycare teachers. Yeah, it can be one of those things too. Um, for me, I just rather be a high school teacher, like teaching students that are really smart that I could try to teach like uh science. That's what I like. It's my favorite subject ever. So let's just do. All right, let's do the. I am going to put it back where it was. I don't know how long I'm recording for. Um, all right, let's do the fixer daily work that I've done. All right, I'm just gonna let this woman speak for me. All right, stop. I'm trying to do this here.
The fixer Quinn. Daily work. Complete the work on one slide for each day of reading.
Okay, Mrs. Culp added the response of the fixer daily work that we have to do. Basically, um, yeah, the fixer of daily work that we have to do. Okay, so we have to do the extra credit. We've been doing this since last month that we have to do because we pretty much finished the shelter that we did. So let's read the part two. Well, not part two, the 1 through 5 pages.
The fixer chapters 1-5. Compare contrast two characters, alternative Venn diagram and inciting incident. Yakov Bach, Zenata Lebedev, Raisl, Bibikov.
I don't know if you can read this, but I can try to present this if you can try to see better. All right. This is the inciting incident. You can compare characters from number 2 and number 1. Directions. Uses foldable compare two characters in the flops. Just write the differences of each character in a center box after you flip the flops. Write the similarities of two characters. In this incident, add the incident to the birth shape. Alright, Fixer chapter 6 for 9. Character analysis. Montana, $15,000 for that. District of Columbia. The concept of the matter. Directions. In each outline, describe how task behaves and interacts with other people in each location. The concept of matter. Alright, 10 to 13. Hardwick yearbook part 1. So I put this, keep in mind. You can put the name and title, our school. Directions. In appropriate boxes, draw a picture of the faculty at Hardwick and what you imagine of the school to look like based on description in the novel. 14 to 17. Hardwick yearbook part 2. In each box, draw a picture of the students at Hardwick. Add important information about each student in the boxes. Alright, journals. Asher. The detail. Ivy. Tess. Rayleigh. Anna. Kias. I cannot find any students that are related to the fixer because I don't know it too well. So I don't even know why I'm doing this extra credit one. 18 to 21. Character to comparisons. Fill in the information about each of the characters on their laps. Flaps on the center square add information that applies to all three characters. Tests. I stared at him in a direct eye of stare. I would have put the money on it and that he already knew the answer. Vivi, I'm sure that wouldn't be necessary. Henry, something was established of what they got. Chapter 22 to 25, read a response journal. Answer the questions in each box about today's reading. What was the main idea of these chapters? The residential outburst of this composition of story. If you were one of those characters in these chapters, what would you have done differently? Just why? I would just give each of a chance or two. What is your reaction to these chapters in light of the whole novel to this point? To be confident neatly with fashion appropriately. 26 to 30. Event timeline. Add one event to each of the timeline. You should have 2 events per chapter to make a total of 8 events. The phone. Misunderstood restroom. Heaven and Hardwick. Ivy was at the office. Ivy kept a promise not to spoil. Court has potential for people. Some reasons want the court to end. Cut off the blade. Cut off for the blade, sorry. 31 to 34. The events of these chapters in a comic book style, you should have at least 8 panels and should cover the big events in all chapters. You can draw by hand or you can create a digital version. So I posted on the internet, and this is what it looks like. I'm not sure if that's what you do or not, but that's okay. 35 to 38. Plot twist. That looks pretty cool. Directions. On the top pretzel, write several sentences about the different direction of a plot. Then on the bottom pretzel, write several sentences about the plot twist that just happened in today's reading. When Henry Marquette, or Marquette, I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce it or not, but pulled to the curb next to Jennifer, and then Ashley was sprawled across a blanket and was kind of trapped, but Tapey got out of the curbs. A fuller understanding of the designing a competition of Ivy's occupation for for occurrence, for major destruction, for many steps that are worth and for many adjustments. 39 to 41. Analysis. Draw a picture of the picture in the headmaster's office that Tess sees. Under the frame, explain the importance of the picture. Who is in the photo? Why do you think Tess keeps asking about this picture? I think Tess is trying to give somebody complimentary. This is the headmaster's office if I cannot find the one. Cut out at least sections of the newspaper and glue the staple in your notebook. Newspaper title, day of the week, month, day, and year. What story would be here if it was about today's reading? They were in some type of business. New heading goes here. Write a short summary of today's reading here. They have chosen handling the listeners the right way, if necessary, of encouraging her to focus. Write a prediction of what will happen next in the story. They include together with combining for one another to each other to read with. 46 to 49. Interviewing. Answer the 2 questions posed under each picture. Why do you choose this? Why do you think it's a great opinion? Where was it take place? If you were Tess, what 3 questions will you ask the reporter? If you were the reporter, what would your next article be about in relation to Tess? Write a 5-sentence newspaper article as if you were the reporter. I will be describing about the situation that has brought up. I would definitely be encourage people to listen with an open mind. I would maybe tell people to work on opinions. I would like people to make people decide which one is right or not. I want to make the achievement for the school. That's what I'm doing right now. 50 to 52, state dinner dance. Next to each set of shoes, write one thing that Tess discovers at the state dinner. She said about the royalty of highness for Queen's courtesy of Vice President Hayden has been in charge for this time, sticking at the White House to draw attention for bad draw Turn fixer. Sorry guys, you can't hear me very well. This is why I don't like to speak too much, because there's a word that I cannot pronounce, like I said. 53 to 56, making inferences. Making inferences. What inferences can you make from this quote? Everyone can't wait until that because we can't make things go quicker. Everyone can wait until that because we can't make things go quicker. When they have like a long conversation, they can't make it go fast because times cannot go that fast. You have to understand that. Choose a quote from a chapter 53 to 54 that is important and right here. You'll get your money when I get my nomination. That's what it has been written here. Choose a quote for chapters 55 to 56 that is important and right here. The president was here. The president was involved in that process. What inferences do you make for this quote? To understand the substance for the quote, because it contains a lot of perfect diviners. The Fixer, chapter 57 to 58, key facts. Next each keynote, the important facts about these chapters. Costas would anesthetize. Costas I can't speak. Costas would anesthetize me before I was in those syringes. Do I hear something or something? Who's making that sound, dude? Costas has a whole definition of spines, cerebellum, order. Okay, what am I saying? I can't even say a word right. I mean, this is the word that has been challenging for me, is anesthetize. That I first tried it. I did not know how to pronounce that too well because of my stutter for this anesthetize. I cannot. The first one I tried is I didn't speak it very well because I was always stuck in the word that I'm in, and that kind of sucks. So it's like Costas has a whole definition of spines. Cerebellum can be from the cerebellum order that has been around chapter 57 for 58. Something has been hit by a sledgehammer. Ivy was headed to the blackmail and partying someone. Costas would kill someone if he doesn't get his things in time. Not all people do that, but some people do that because if a person does not get what they wanted, they would immediately tell them to go back and get it. But they don't have the money anymore. They were all out. That's it. Ivy didn't tell us the president's record because it's a difficult situation. Making connections. On each circle, write a character's name and explain how they are connected to the events of today's reading. Some characters may need more than one circle. Pierce has so many stereotypes that he wants to show. Costas would be investigated about that. Adam can tell the situation has been going on for. Tess would want to tell you the events she had. Body can tell you the event that could be complementary. Vivi's father would be honest about the situation. Ivy is shy, so she could tell you a story privately. Henry can try to make any excuses for this. Vivi could tell us the judgment about the event of this community. Case closed. For each piece of a file, write one part of the ultimate resolution for that character. Place them in all of them in a file folder. VV resolution of confident about the part she said about was true on page 263, and she's a very slow talker, and she's also a slow taker, and she could be intervened with slow process into staying positive. And I also cannot find Henry, and I didn't even know what he looked like or what he looked like. This is Pres Nolan, Costas, Vivi. I cannot find the characters, dude. Why are you making this so difficult? I can't even draw on this. Is that it? Yep, that's it. Yep. I don't even know how long I'm recording for. Um, okay, anyway. Okay, so, um, so I'm gonna look up at Google real quick, and what happens when things don't go in your way? Okay, so how do you react? How do you react when things don't go in your way? Okay, so most people in the whole wide world is take a step back and evaluate. This is 13 helping points. Vent if you have to, but don't linger on your problem. Realizing that there are others out there facing this too. Process your thoughts. Acknowledge your thoughts. Give yourself a break. Uncover what you're really upset about. See this as an obstacle course to be overcome. Okay, so what is getting in your way? Phrase, to get in the way of something means to make it difficult for it to happen. Continue or be appreciated properly. She had a job which never got in the way of her leisure interests. Why things don't work out for me? Why are things working out for you? It's because you believe that that's how things happen. When you believe that something is like going to happen in general, like when you're trying to think that when you try to think something that is like when you thought it was going to happen, but it immediately shuts down because sometimes it does not happen when you think it's going to happen, but it really doesn't. But when you think it does, sometimes it does. I mean, what can I say about that? Uh, I know that sometimes got my way, but sometimes you cannot always get in your own way because that's not how it works. So, um, just like a basic step. But it's like when things don't go in your way, it really says like when you say things just aren't working out for me. I mean, it reveals a life of Sophie that's actually keeping you where you are, and you will never break free from it until you you accept that you have to work on your life out. That's what you have to do. So, if you don't get things in your way, then what can you do about that? I mean, honestly, you can calm down. So you cannot always get in your own way. For most children, they think they can actually get in their own way. I mean, what can they say about that? That's not how it works. That's not how life works. I mean, I know that it's sometimes happening to most children, but it's sometimes if a child does not have their own way, they don't have to. They don't have to get mad about it. I mean, not in general. I know that sometimes. I know that most children does not know what getting their own way. Some kids will move their fingers, thinking that they're gonna get their way, but they're not. I know that's not how it works. I mean, that's not how it works when you don't get in your own way. That just doesn't work that way. Um, so yeah, kids can't always get their own way. Not even adults. They don't always get in their way when they're not expecting it. So, when things don't go when things doesn't go in your way, quotes. Nothing is permanent. My scars show strength, not weakness. I can stay positive when others are negative. Going through pain will make me wiser. Even when I am struggling, I am moving forward. Fear changes nothing. So, do you always get in your own way? Obviously, no, because that's not how life works. I mean, uh, okay, so things cannot possibly go in your own way when you're not expecting it. I mean, it's really part of life, but it's not the life that you want. Like when you're trying to get when you're trying to get your own way. Um, anyways, when you're trying to go in your own way, that doesn't usually happen all the time because it's not possible for people to have. They think they can get in their own way, but they can't because some people don't have anything in common. I mean, they don't have time for that. They don't even just like that. They don't just like my mom didn't even have any time to buy a cake for me. So, just like that. Yeah. All right. So, um, all right. Anyways, when things don't go in your way, all you have to do is just help yourself out. What can you do about that? How do you stay motivated when things aren't going your way? Take care of yourself. Laugh even while your heart is hurting. Spend time with other people. Try not to isolate yourself. That you don't even feel alone. Dwell on the good things in your life at this moment and list them out. Give yourself space, and then times will re-energize. All right. If you guys have any questions, let me know. I will be doing the preschool project later on. See you guys in part 112.